Hey folks, it's Global Politics with Jim Martin. Today I want to talk about the Middle East. Specifically, there's been a lot going on there over the past, year and a half that has really fundamentally changed some of the relationships there. And the inexorable retreat of globalization has some pretty rough implications for the region as well. So we're talking about Israel, Jordan, Syria, Lebanon, Saudi, the Gulf states, Iraq, Iran, that kind of region. And I've got a map up, show you what's going on with that. We've got a mix of various kinds of authoritarian regimes, some monarchies, some theocracies, some dictatorships. Syria kind of in a quasi-transitional state. We don't know what's going to happen there. Lebanon's kind of same story. Israel, flawed democracy at this point. And things have changed just in terms of military balance. Iran once held sway over much of Iraqi policy and actually had troops on the ground in some places there. And of course, in Syria, acting as kind of trainers and suppliers for Hezbollah in there and Lebanon. Of course, the Israeli aggression over the past few years with regard to Gaza and Lebanon have to be taken into account. And basically, or I shouldn't say all, but most of the Iranian influence has largely been way set back, if not completely destroyed. We don't know what exactly will occur over the coming months and years in terms of the reconstitution of Hamas, perhaps. Hard to say. Hezbollah look like it's probably down for the count, but you never know. New regimes and new systems will emerge from that. Past history doesn't suggest that they're going to be the warm and fuzzy types. For the moment, Israel has military dominance over that area. I mean, the Houthis down in Yemen, extremely incompetent bunch, but still able to lob some missiles here and there and cause a lot of consternation. That kind of stuff is happening, but Israel has definitely got the upper hand here. And Benjamin Netanyahu is not somebody that you want to have the upper hand on you. The other part of it is that, for many decades, the Middle East has held sway and had a lot of influence over world economies due to petrochemical reserves and oil and natural gas sales. That is fading. On our side of the ocean, the United States is the largest producer of oil and natural gas in the world. We're awash in oil. We could devastate oil prices if we were to really go to town on that. The problem for the Middle East is that most of that stuff is coming out through ships, and ships are vulnerable. And as the U.S. Navy withdraws from those kinds of roles, as it is likely to do under the Trump administration, it's hard to see how the risk would be worth the reward. Oil and natural gas right now are also very cheap. Again, see the United States dominance in that marketplace. So the only people who are buying it from them are the Chinese and India to a degree when they can't get things from Russia. What does the Middle East have to offer otherwise? They're so reliant on those things for the most part. Not every country is in this boat. Their economies are just very dependent on the price of oil. The other problem is that while some of the Gulf states have diversified their economies to an extent and liberalized to an extent, particularly with regard to finance, many haven't. And a diverse economy can protect you from that sort of problem. Iran has made efforts, but has suffered under decades of restrictions on a variety of imports and exports, which hamper its ability to diversify its economy. It's also been very, very sour on foreign direct investment, which at particular times might have helped them diversify their economy. They were on a kick for a while of being entirely self-sufficient. Didn't work out so great, but they're probably in a better spot than many of the other countries. And here's another thing. Most of these countries import food, and that's really problematic when you see the world shifting into this more realist sort of mindset where if you're down, that's good for me. That's not a great place to be, and especially with Trump in power and his transactional approaches to things, these are problematic. And then you have Turkey has a massive economy, great demographics. It is a diverse economy. They sit at the crossroads, the nexus of a lot of different economic markets. Militarily, they're also very powerful. So what's to stop them if they decide that they want to recreate the Ottoman Empire? I think sometimes we forget the histories that precede our lifetimes. There's been a lot more of that kind of thing in the history of organized human beings than there has been peace and love. I would think that in the coming years, you're going to see some constellations of alliances that are going to make for some unusual bedfellows, or you're going to see a ton of military conflicts between the states in the region. I hope that I am wrong. And as always, your context as folks out there in my audience is welcome. If you have other thoughts on how these things can go, I would certainly appreciate it. Like, share, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Have a great day. Thanks.